If you're a pharmacist, do you like the idea of just creating written content and like making extra money from it? Or if that could be like your full-time job, does that sound interesting? Because if it does, there's an entire career path called medical information, medical communications, or even medical affairs a little bit, that if you're tired of the retail grind, the hospital grind, the clinical grind, you can use that knowledge without the crazy hours or expectations and metrics to potentially focus a lot of that energy into just creating knowledge. And today we're talking about that career path. It could be the ticket that you've been looking for to doing something way more fulfilling, less emotionally and physically demanding, and really enjoying the most out of your pharmacy career. It's medical writing. The best part about this is that you don't need years of writing experience. I'll show you exactly how to make this switch, even if you've never done writing professionally. What's great about making this transition for any pharmacist is that you already have a strong foundation. Look, I've helped hundreds of pharmacists make career transitions, and I keep seeing the same worried looks when medical writing comes up. But Alex, I'm not a writer. I've never published anything before. What if I make mistakes if I actually create something? Well, let me tell you, if you can explain to a patient why they shouldn't take their calcium tablet with their thyroid medication or milk, you could be a medical writer. Your pharmacy degree actually has a huge advantage here. You've already got the medical knowledge that you need in order to understand the clinical trials, the statistics, and you know how to interpret research papers, explain it in a powerful way that a patient will understand it. Think about it. Every day, you're interpreting complex medical literature. Every day, you're explaining complicated concepts to patients who maybe don't even know how to read. And you understand drug mechanisms better than any medical writer who has a degree. You've reviewed clinical trials. You went through the drug information. You know how to clearly communicate. And you probably know how to accurately write documentation in patient charts. These are exactly the skills that medical writing companies are looking for. You're not starting from scratch. You're just redirecting your expertise into a different format. I remember coaching this pharmacist who was absolutely terrified about getting into medical writing because her biggest fear was being wrong. What if I write something and it's incorrect? I finally convinced her to just write something, anything. She created this amazing comparison chart of weight loss medications, and she published it in our private coaching community. When she shared it, you know what happened? People loved it. They were thanking her, asking her for more resources, hey, you should make more of these things. And that's when it clicked for her. She already was a writer. She just didn't know it. In my opinion, there's two paths to becoming a medical writer. There's the fast way, and then there's the slow way. And here's the truth. Everyone wants the fast route, and the slow way is actually much easier and more likely to succeed over time. Let me explain why. The fast way is what most people try. They apply directly to medical writing positions without any writing experience. They update their resume, they highlight clinical knowledge, and they start sending out applications, especially without a cover letter or with any prior networking, which is bad. Can it work? Yes, sometimes it can. Statistically, it's not very high. It's not very good. Because here's the problem. You're competing with other people who probably have writing portfolios and proven experience. The slow way, which is the one I recommend, means you build your foundation while you're still working as a pharmacist. You start creating content, building up your portfolio, making connections, and getting your work out there before you even apply to your first medical writing job. It feels slower, but ironically, it often leads to faster results. Let me show you how this exactly works step by step. Step one, start writing. Just like the client I mentioned previously, the first step to starting writing is to do it. When I work with pharmacists, I tell them to start what they know best. Think about the medications you discuss on an everyday basis. Maybe you're seeing a lot of prescriptions for GLP-1 agonists, and if you understand the differences between them inside and out. That's what our client did. That's your first piece right there. Or maybe you're constantly explaining warfarin interactions to patients. Try out those conversations into a writing piece and share it online. Post it on LinkedIn. You don't need premium to do this. Share your knowledge freely because you're doing it already at a really small scale. Honestly, this is how I got started. I just wrote what I was experiencing, what I was learning about, what I was writing about, and it was shared on Pharmacy Times, on a previous blog that I had, on social media, and it was opening up opportunities. Step 2 is to gain experience. Here's something that most people don't know. You can get paid to build your medical writing portfolio. CE programs usually offer stipends anywhere between a few $100s to $1,000. Your state pharmacy association needs writers for their newsletters. Local pharmacy schools often need help with publications. The opportunities are out there. You just need to know where to look. There are job boards as well, places like Upwork that want medical writers. Here's another tip that could help you. Consider starting with freelance work while keeping your pharmacy job. Not only does this give you a chance to build experience without taking a huge risk to your finances. Many medical writers I know started this way, taking on small projects during their off hours and validating that they really enjoyed this kind of work. I remember working with this one pharmacist who started writing just one article a month on the weekends. And within 6 months, she had built up enough of a portfolio and a client base that she felt confident enough to scale back her pharmacy hours and take on more work that she could fit in during the week. That's the beauty of medical writing. You can test the waters without diving head first. This is the third step, and I've already been mentioning it because it should be ongoing as you're building your portfolio, and that's strategic networking. Networking in medical writing is different from what you may expect. The first thing that you want to do is maybe join some groups or associations. The American Medical Writers Association is an interesting group, to say the least. They've got a lot of networking opportunities in an online group, but just don't join and forget about it. Get active in online communities. Connect with other medical writers, especially on LinkedIn, especially also with former pharmacists who made the transition. We actually have a community of our alumni that you may want to think about joining. When you reach out to someone, don't just ask for a job or tell me about your day in your life. Start with something simple like, hey, I noticed you transitioned from pharmacy to medical writing. Would you be willing to share your experience? It can open up so many doors. And step number 4 is focused training. Now, here's the thing about training. It's optional. It is not mandatory. I know some of you are thinking that you need another certification, another degree. You do not. Some pharmacists choose to take things like the AMWA's Essential Skills Package because it can help you learn some specifics. But you know what's faster than taking a class? It's just doing the job, learning on the job, and ideally getting paid to do it. Each type of medical writing has its own rules, regulations, and style, and you can learn all of this through experience. I've had clients who never took a single course, but learned everything they needed by doing the work and connecting with others and getting jobs doing it. Look, the choice is yours, fast or slow. If you learn better through structured training, go for it. If you learn it and you don't like it, at least you now know what you don't want to do. That's still knowledge. That is progress. If you prefer learning by doing, like I feel like most humans do, that's perfectly fine too. Companies care more about your ability to write clearly than any certificates you may have. Step number 5 is to position yourself for opportunities. Let's talk about where you can find the work. Most pharmacists I work with start with medical education content or patient material providers because it's closest to what they've already been doing. As you gain experience, you can move into regulatory documents, you can learn to clinical trial protocols, grant writing, research summaries. The real money is in regulatory submissions and clinical study reports, but you can start with what feels comfortable to you and build your way up to more advanced kinds of writing. Now, I know what some people are thinking. Taking the fast route, jumping straight into applying to a job. Can I do that? Yes. I've helped people make that transition. But without a portfolio or experience, you're making it harder on yourself. Imagine that you need to hire a plumber because your entire all of your toilets, just all of them, they aren't working. And we all know that you need to go to the bathroom. Who would you rather work with? A plumber who has helped a few people with their toilets, or with the plumber who just graduated? I think I know who you're going to hire. Remember, this transition to medical writing doesn't happen overnight, but your pharmacy background gives you more than enough of a unique advantage in this field. If you're not sure whether medical writing or something else is the right path for you, or if you want to explore other career options, I've got something that's going to help you. Trust me. In the link, I've put below a free career guide. Answer a few questions about your career experiences and your interests, and you will discover jobs that will provide to you different career paths that you're already qualified for. It's helped a few hundred pharmacists find their perfect career match. I think it can help you direct you to what your next steps could be. If you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you give it a like and subscribe, because we're talking about this stuff all the time. You may as well subscribe. Why not? It's free. Everyone loves free. And hey, if you're working towards a career path that you really want to pursue, I would love to connect with you. Find me on LinkedIn. Have a conversation with me. I'm always on there. So thank you for watching this video. And until I see you in the next one, stay curious and take care.